Going on, guys? It's Josh back here at my house, and I'm going to do a video today, another tip video. It's not going to be me throwing or anything, it's just going to be my inside of my head um, on the course, pretty much. And the topic is shot selection, and it's something, at least I think, some newer people could benefit from. Maybe some more experienced people. I don't know. I've seen some people that are really good. Sometimes you just go, why'd they do that? So this is just going to be my insight on it. So first thing that I think a lot of people should do that don't, and you see a lot of top pros do, is read the environment around you. When you step up on a tee, it doesn't have to be on the tee, it could be your upshot, whatever you're putting. You need to read the environment. And by that I mean, if it's windy, what kind of wind you're doing, or what kind of wind you're feeling not doing. But you say you step up to the tee and you're getting hit right in the face with wind, you know that's going to make, or you should know at least, that wind in your face is probably going to make your disc act more unstable, just because it's going to make the disc seem like it's flying faster. The opposite for tailwind. I mean, it's going to make something that you might normally throw a putter on, maybe you need to throw mid. That's why you see a lot of these pros step up to the tee. Sometimes they'll have two discs in their hand. That's because they've practiced both of those shots, and usually for certain situations. You see them throw grass in the air to see if the wind is blowing this way or that, and that's because they know if it's blowing left to right, that if they throw a backhand and get it turned, it's going to get blown that way, or if it's on hyzer, it's going to get smacked down. I mean, that's the kind of stuff I think is pretty important to look at, as well as the environment can be the ground, what you're landing on too. Whether if it's tall grass near the basket or if it's dirt. I know we don't have to worry about it a lot, but I know videos where pros are playing at De La, they talk about the hard pan. I mean, you land 50 feet away from the basket and you still might skip by the basket on something that you thought might just stick. So I mean, knowing when you should throw something that's going to be pretty skippy or something that's going to sit down for you. The second thing is being able to look at the hole and know what you're supposed to throw, because sometimes you might see a line on a hole and think this is what you're supposed to throw, in reality maybe another shot's the best one. Sometimes you can look down a fairway, and the best way to figure this out is by playing courses a lot, and when you get to the basket, look backwards. Look back at the tee and see actually how big of a shape that is, because sometimes you'll play a hole that looks like you need to throw a pretty good hyzer on to get to the basket, but once you get back to the basket and look to the tee, it's usually somewhat pretty straight. So if you accidentally throw something straighter than you wanted, you might be putting closer than what you would on a hyzer. And also knowing the dangers on that hole. Say if you're throwing and it's heavily wooded on the left side and like water on the right, sometimes that might dictate, depending on your skill level or if you're in a tournament, whether you need to try to go for it or not. But I tell people when they're first starting out, just try to play to get par. If you can get par, you're probably going to do good. So that might say if it's a 300-foot hole, instead of throwing a fairway driver, you might just need to throw a putter and make sure you land in the middle, something that you're not going to turn over or something that you're not going to let dive left into the woods and give you no shot for par. So I'd say that's probably the second important thing to think about when you're selecting your shots. This one ties into that because I kind of mentioned it, is deciding what your shot is. Now, by that I mean, are you going to be aggressive, or are you playing for a certain score, par, and not trying to get in trouble? And some of that, like in tournament, might be dictated by if you're in the lead or if you're chasing somebody. There's, like I said, there's situations where you might be 2 strokes back from somebody in front of you, first, second, whatever. If you're trying to make up strokes and you're on the same card possibly, if you're in the second round or the third, whatever, last round of the tournament, you're probably going to be close knowing where they're at. That might kind of dictate I need to be aggressive. Or if you're not worried about that at all and just worried about your own score, which is something you should be worried about in the first place, really, that should be one of these tips. I'll throw that in there too. Play against yourself and the course, and don't always worry about the people around you, because sometimes that can mess with your mental game too. But back to what I was talking about. When you pick whatever it is you're doing, do that. Be committed to that shot. Know that I'm running this putt, or I'm going for the basket, and accepting what's going to happen when you do that, because you know there's going to be risks. That's in the decision making there. And like I said, with this tip, the last one falls right in there with it, is the committing part to that. A lot of times when you see people shank shots or something mess up, a lot of times because they didn't commit to the putt, they didn't commit to their shot, and that can cause you to mess up your form. You're cutting yourself off because you were too afraid to follow through. So in your mind, whenever you step up, be like, I'm fully committing to this shot, I'm going for it for sure. Putts, sometimes you see people get jabby, and usually their putts will flare everywhere. Mine do that sometimes if I get too caught up with what's going on, or if I haven't made a couple putts. You can get jabby because you're trying to make it, but you don't know how to fix your form at that point. Usually in that situation, I'm not going to go for it anyways. If I'm already in a bad mental spot, I'll try to pitch close to the basket and give myself an easy putt to get more confidence. And that's part of committing to it. You don't want to be in the middle of your putt or in the middle of your throw, not knowing whether you're trying to land it close to the basket or put it in. And that's a problem you'll see a lot of times, and that's when you can see some squirrely shots. So definitely be committed to your shots. So I think with shot selection, that's some of the main things for me. There might be some others. Y'all can comment them down below if you want to comment. If you think this is helpful, please like it. Share it to your friends. Who knows? I just figure newer players might need to hear some of this stuff. Not as interesting, I guess, as watching people throw, but in the long run, I think it could help out. I see people make the mistakes all the time, so that's why I figured I'd make something about it, just so you start thinking about that stuff, because I see people a lot of times. I try to make the shot selections for them, but I don't tell them, because I'm playing casual, so I know I don't like to be annoyed or something if somebody's telling me, oh, you shouldn't throw that. And I'm talking about people I know really close. Sometimes I'll step up to a hole and I'll throw my shot, but I adjusted for what I was going to do, and it'll be a ripping headwind, and I'll see one of my buddies with the same disc they normally would throw, or the same disc I watched them throw on the hole before and saw what happened. And I'm sitting there going, grab something else, grab something more overstable, or something like that. In my head, I'm sitting there going that, and a lot of the times you'll see they'll throw and it'll turn over or something, and that's just one of those things. You just got to learn it, and that's part of learning your discs, learning your throw. Not hating on it. I'm just saying it's something in my head. I sit there and I watch people sometimes after I've played with them for a while, and I notice people's discs a lot. It's weird. Like I know a lot of my friends' bags, I don't know why I do, but I remember the discs they're carrying. I'm like, hey, did you throw that? Did you just throw a falchion? And they're like, yeah. Oh, was that your T-Bird 3? Yeah, thought it was. So I do that kind of stuff all the time. So whenever I step up to the tee and I see a situation happening, I'm going through it for them. So maybe that can help you too. You can kind of see what happens if you think somebody you know should have thrown this disc whenever they didn't. But I'm not saying call them out. I'm just saying maybe that'll help you in your mental game too. But definitely an important thing to learn: shot selection. Please subscribe, hit the like button, comment, do all those things, share it with your buddies, whatever, and go to my giveaway video. I'm gonna put it somewhere in this ending video, and or ending screen, whatever. I'm getting closer and closer to the 100 mark, so that's good for you guys, but we need to get there so I can give it away. Then we can get on the road to 250, where I can give away the FX2 that's autographed by the Robot Chicken himself. So please do it. Until next time, peace.